today we will understand some basic topics according to which we will solve the question paper. First, interpolation. Interpolation is technique of estimation the value of a function of any intermediate value of independent variable while processing of computing the value of function outside the given range is called extrapolation. It means that if we have given a set of values, so we can take out a value of a function that is not provided to us. This is called interpolation. And if we need to find the value of the function outside that range, that is called extrapolation. Forward difference. Forward difference. The difference y1 minus y0, comma, y2 minus y1, comma, y3 minus y2, and so on, when denoted by dy0, comma, dy1, dy2, and so on, are respectively called the first forward differences. Thus, the first forward differences are x0, x0, y0, and its difference will be delta y0, x1, y1, delta y1, and so on. Newton's forward interpolation formula. This formula is particularly used for interpolating the value of fx near the beginning of the set of values. H is called interval of the difference and u equals to x minus a divided by h. Here a is the first term. Newton's forward interpolation is used for finding the value of the function near the beginning of the set of values, which means that starting of the values. H is the difference of gap between first value and second value. It is always constant. U, which is the interpolation formula, equals to x minus a upon h. Now, backward difference. The difference y1 minus y0, comma, y2 minus y1, and so on, when denoted by dy1, comma, dy2, respectively, are called first backward differences. Thus, the first backward differences are, according to this table, they are x0, y0, that Newton's backward interpolation formula. This formula is useful when the value of the function is required near to the end of the table. H is called the interval difference and u equals to x minus a of n divided by h. Here an is the last term. This means that Newton's backward interpolation is used when we have to find value that is near to the end of the range. So we use this formula. U is equals to x minus last term of the range divided by the interval difference, h. Now we will talk about Newton's divided difference interpolation formula. This formula is technique used when the interval difference is not the same for all sequence of the value. In Newton's forward and backward difference, we have seen that the h is always constant, which means interval is always same. But in Newton's divided difference interpolation formula, the interval difference is not same for all sequence. Suppose function x0, x1, x2, and xn be the n plus 1 value of the function. Y equals to x, f of x corresponding to the argument x equals to x0, x1, x2, xn, where interval difference are not same. Then first divided difference is given by f1 minus f0 upon x1 minus x0. This is first divided difference. Divided difference are symmetric with respect to the argument, that is independent of the order of argument. So, f of x0, x1 equals to f of x1, x0, f of x0, x1, x2 equals to f of x2, x1, x0, which is equals to f of x1, x2, x0 by using first divided difference, second divided difference, and so on. A table is formed which is called divided difference table. Divided difference table, this is the divided difference table, where first divided difference is f2 minus f1 upon x2 minus x1 for f1 and f2 and x1 and x2. Now for f2 and f3, we have f3 minus f2 divided by x3 minus x2. For three values, we have f of x1, x2, x3, that is f of x3, comma x2, which comes from here f3 minus f2 upon x3 minus x2, minus f of x2 minus x1, which can we get from here f2 minus f1 upon x2 minus n, whole divided by x3 minus x1. Now we can talk about Lagrange's interpolation formula. If y equals to function of x takes the value of y0, y1 and so on corresponding to the x, which is equals to x0, x1 and so on, then this method is preferred over its counterparts like Newton's method because it is applicable even for unequally spaced values of x. So this is also used for unequal difference, interval difference. Now we can talk about some questions.